notice, where are Saturn's walls or Mars' fire active in your life right now? And instead of maybe resisting, start to invite, start to ask, what would it be like to work with this experience as my teacher, my ally, instead of my enemy? My intention is for this to really set the stage of our understanding in today's focus topic. We're going to dive now into the specifics, the natures of both Saturn and Mars as planets, as malefics in astrology. Let's start with Saturn. So the temperament of Saturn is cold and dry, or also known as melancholic. Saturn's nature is heavy, slow, and constricting. And the experience of Saturn in life can feel like this confrontation with necessity, with needing to make difficult choices that require sacrifice, sometimes loss, and a sense of a bearing weight and responsibility. Saturn tends to constrict or withhold. And Saturn is also the ruler of time. And so Saturn transits can feel like they last forever. They don't. But Saturn is a slower moving planet. It takes Saturn about 2.5 years to just go through one sign. So because the Saturn transit is slower, the growth tend to be experienced a little bit deeper. It takes a little bit longer. We need that Saturn time to really mature and develop whatever that is that Saturn's helping us to grow or to change. In the ancient texts, Valen said that Saturn is cold and dry. He brings about obstruction, sorrow, despair, grief, misfortune, poverty, and a manner of life of toil and hardship. Yet when well situated, he makes men serious, profound, laborious, competent, and authoritative. I will also note that something that is really helpful to remember about Saturn is that Saturn is always the hardest in our first 30 years of life because we just aren't old enough and mature enough and experienced enough in life to understand the benefit or the wisdom of Saturn. So if you're somebody who's under 30 years old, you haven't yet started your Saturn return, your first Saturn return, don't worry. You're going to feel a change, a complete change in your relationship to Saturn, hopefully after that Saturn return.